No, there were so many moments in my childhood where it was just like so incredibly blatantly obvious.
I remember like way back, I must have been like 4 or 5 years old, like when I was in preschool, I was on the way to karate class with 2 guys who were my best friends at the time.
I like Barbies.
I started developing crushes on every single teacher.
They still thought I was straight.
I'm sitting in the back of a Jeep and I was sitting in the middle and I had my legs crossed.
My older sister, when she's 3 or 4, is wearing this cute pink dress.
I would ask for Barbie dolls for Christmas.
My mom turns and goes, "Oh my gosh, Scott used to love to wear that dress."
But little did my parents know that I was using them as damsels in distress for action figures.
My friend said to me, "Oh, like you can't do that, like that's how girls sit, like you can't sit like that, like, you know, guys have to sit like this."
So I would like tie them by a leg and dangle them from a dresser drawer, and then the action figures would have to save them, but that was probably still a good clue.
And so I like rapidly changed my seat, like the way I was sitting to conform to that.
I guess acting outside of the norms of what you would consider to be like what a young boy is supposed to do.
I was a freshman in high school, my first year, and I was in the computer lab at the end of the day, and this kid walks up to me. He was another freshman.
And my entire family laughs because it's pretty funny, and I guess that was sort of me expressing my early, sexuality.
He walks up to me and he says, "You know that being gay is a sin against the Catholic Church, right?"
I kind of knew that I was gay for years.
You know, I really should be content with myself, but something was different.
I didn't like what other girls wore.
I guess I struggled in trying to establish an identity.
I've actually come out, gone back in to the closet, and then come out again at various points in my life.
There have been moments when I've not been completely honest about who I am.
A good friend of mine who sort of just asked me, if I really liked the girlfriend that I had in high school who I used to talk about.
I struggled with trying to figure out whether I was actually into women and dating women.
I knew exactly what she meant, and at that point I sort of hinted to her that I thought I was bi, which I guess got the ball rolling.
Here I am out in this Catholic all-boys high school, class president. What am I doing?
Homosexuality is actually illegal in Singapore.
As an athlete, I think that it's very easy to feel alone and that you're the only one struggling with your identity.
I think it's sometimes hard to be open about your romantic or sexual preference or identity.
Varsity athletics isn't exactly the most welcoming environment.
I don't think that my sexual identity is the most important aspect of who I am.
Basically stayed in the closet throughout my national service, and it was only after I was back here in college that I came out again.
I always grew up knowing that I didn't want to disappoint my parents, but knowing deep down that I was going to at some point.
When I first came out to my mom, or I guess up until a few months ago, she would look me in the eye and be like, "Promise me you'll marry a man."
And you have all of this weight on your shoulders that you just carry around with you all the time.
And sometimes I'd go back to my room and think to myself, like, I'd really like to make her happy, and maybe I could test it out.
The worst part for me was knowing that, I had these friends, these people that I considered like brothers. You spend so much time together.
It's the little things of not wanting to disappoint people that you like, or not wanting to embarrass them.
You never know how someone's going to react.
As strange as it seems, sometimes it's more about other people than yourself.
Not everybody's accepting.
People definitely did tease me.
Even walking on the streets, having people literally roll down their windows and scream "faggot" out.
It pushes you back into the closet every time somebody uses a word, or you have to lie about it.
They don't stay in camp for training because of obvious prejudices.
Sometimes people would say, "Oh, why do you wear boy clothes?" or "Why don't you wear tight jeans?" or whatever.
Heard about people talking about me.
If I give in now, the people who know that I'm gay might just resort. We will have this confirmation bias and go like, "Oh, he's weak." Not because he's weak, but he's weak because he's gay.
It's just the expectation that you're something that you're definitely not, that is a constant struggle to navigate sometimes.
I started to feel like it was a really important thing for me to do, to just be honest in a more direct way about my sexual identity.
I've been mistaken as a guy for some time, especially during the winters here. You're wearing these like huge jackets, no one can tell what's underneath, and it was always kind of awkward when cashiers would say "sir" and then they would hear my voice and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am."
Maybe somebody in my position a few years younger, even my same age, might be able to know that there's somebody like them.
Like gay people exist, and the less we talk about it, the more ignorant we're gonna be.
And it really has strengthened my relationship with a lot of people, strangely enough.
Once freshman year, I was feeling horrible. It was just like one of those days when all the little things add up and I felt really bad. And I went to the bathroom in the library, and when I came back, on my desk was just like a slip of notebook paper with a heart on it.
Those in-the-moment feelings of true love and pleasure and joy.
And I asked all of my friends, and they had no idea what I was talking about. And like, I still keep around that piece of paper.
I think they're indispensable to one's life.
I think it's just so inspiring that maybe not a stranger, maybe a stranger, I don't know, but it's those like little things that have really kept me going.
I mean, I am so happy to be a lesbian. I couldn't be happier.
I think love is worth living for, even with all the problems and challenges that come with it.
I've had many experiences that that are really unique to being gay, and it allows me to connect, I find, with so many more people.
Do what works for you. There's really no one prescribed way to respond or to deal with any problems or any questions you have.
Be true to yourself and be confident in your decision.
Something that really helps is just to talk to that one person.
One friend, one professor.
And it makes all the difference.
Whether you decide to come out now or next year or never, just to find at least one person to sort of share the journey with you.
It is the biggest burden lifted off of your shoulders. I've never felt that kind of relief.
A lot of people decide not to come out, I think, because they're scared of the people who they're going to lose, or they're scared of people's reactions. And I think that people will surprise you.
When you're thinking of, coming out, or when you're kind of exploring your sexuality, what I would say is don't necessarily assume anything about anyone.
There are a lot of really wonderful people out there who will be there for you.
Having them say to me like you changed my perspective, you changed my viewpoint on what it means to be gay, on who gay people are.
You'll find them in the most random places, in exciting places, in boring places.
I found that the people who have actually accepted me the most are the people that I would find least likely according to stereotypes that we build about them. They were the most accepting people.
And just have faith that they'll be there.
It gets better. And you're fabulous.
I think it certainly gets better.